Morning, Focus crew. Focused Hands here. So today I'm going to be changing the oil. I'm going to be changing out the oil pressure sensor switch near the front of the engine, and I'll show you all those things. Let's get started.
Hey, yo, viral.
All right, I'm bringing the jack from the other side over. So with the car successfully jacked up, you can now get up under it and work under the engine. I would suggest getting yourself like a little mat like I got here, so that it's easy for you to, slide on. You won't get your back all mangled from the concrete which you'll be working on. Coming from right here, but I don't know if that is oil pan leak or if that is oil pressure switch leak. And I'm thinking that's going to be oil pressure switch leak right now. We'll see. I'll do a follow up on the test. But for this part of the 3-part series, we're looking at the drain plug for the oil. So if you find your fan, so this is your radiator fan right here, and here's your oil filter, right? So if your oil pan is right here, the oil drain plug is going to be right behind that. Follow the line. Your oil filter, oil pan, drain plug here in the back. And mine is pretty bad looking. It's pretty mangled. So I'm gonna have to be extra careful when taking this off. I don't even believe I remember what size these are. So let me find that out and I'll turn you back on. All right, so for my 2005 Ford Focus, it looks like the 13 millimeter bolt fits. My oil pan, put it on there. It's a pretty snug fit. Yours might be different. Mine has definitely had some issues throughout the years of me trying to work on the car. This is back before I actually started, knowing what size bolts went where. So if you're new to any type of car mechanic work, it's to your benefit to find out what's the proper size for each bolt, so you don't have problems like this. Let me zoom in for you. See how that bolt's mangled? This is when I first started, so I'm still carrying those scars from when I first started working on my car. It's pretty cool to come back and be a little bit more proficient in vehicle mechanic work than I was back then. Anyway, so let's get this off, and we'll get to draining that oil. Stay tuned. All right, Focus crew. So I couldn't get the bolt off because I can't say that I caused all of that, but I definitely tried to get it off this time, and it didn't work. So I went out to my local Home Depot, and I got these little nice bolt extractors, and this should be able to get it off. This is a 3/8 socket extension or socket size. So let me get this all sorted, get some gloves on, and we'll continue the video. Stay tuned. All right, Focus crew, sorry about the camera. So I finally got this goddamn bolt out, and I had to use a 12 and just wrench this joker off. Obviously this one won't be going back on, but my goodness, I didn't catch it on video because I was really hammering away at this shiz. So word of advice, take it from me, make sure you have the right bolt size for your drain plug. Otherwise you will have issues and you will have to get a bolt extractor to get it off. This was not fun. Just heed my warning on using the correct bolt size or tool for the job. Don't cheat corners when things like this. And I would also say that don't start unplugging your oil filter until you can remove that drain plug. Had I done this first and then removed this and this was stuck, now I'm stuck. having to do extra work. But since I did this first and got it off, now I can go ahead and remove that. And you want to make sure when you're removing this that you have something that a catch can under it, because this still has oil in it. Yeah, so let's continue the video. Stay tuned. All right, crew, so here's the new bolt versus the old bolt. And this one's a little shorter, but I had this matched at AutoZone, and it will work. Maybe they just started going a little shorter length than they did with the OEM ones, but we'll check it out and see if I get leaks. Anyway, so I test fitted it already, and it fits, so I'm gonna go bolt it back on before the rain catches up with me. Let's hop to that. Now that I dropped the oil filter, I need to clean up that area, and then I'll deal with that oil pressure sensor switch right there when I have time, because it's starting to rain. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the drain plug back in, let that drip out some more, and we'll come back before we put oil in and deal with that oil pressure sensor there and clean all this up. And essentially when you do that, the job for the oil change is essentially done. Once you've dropped the oil out of the pan, and oh, I still got more oil. Oh snaps, it's coming out. All right, so I got the oil sitting on some paper towel. I'm gonna go ahead now, let me wipe it down a little bit and then reinstall the drain plug. I think we'll be good to go on that front. Wipe all this down, like I said. Get up under here. Just wipe all this down. Good clean surface for the oil filter to go back on. All right, there goes your lunch. Hungry? Me neither. All right, so now that we got that wiped down, I'm gonna go grab the new oil filter, get the new oil, and well, I guess first I'm going to deal with this. So we're going to deal with this first, the oil pressure regulator, and then dive into this so that all of this is done at one time. Just reach in here, reach on up here and unplug it from its housing. You just press on the clip and that pulls off. That's the first time that's been removed in years. Guess we can try to wipe it up very, very carefully. We don't want to break anything. But it looks like this thing was struggling. Struggling. This switch right here, let me zoom in for you. This switch right here that you see in, that is the oil pressure sensor, and mine happens to be leaking, as you can tell. And I just need to get some Teflon tape, have the new oil pressure sensor Teflon tape, and torque it down to spec. I think it's like 11 foot-pounds. And we're back in business. Anyway, let's hop to that. Let me go grab all the tools I need, and we'll get that on and then get that oil change back into gear. Stay tuned. All right, so I got the new oil pressure switch. I got this off of AutoZone. It was like 14 bucks. I'll link this in the description as well for you all. And that good old oil filter. And I'm gonna go ahead and add some more Teflon tape to this, because a lot of people online said that on the Focus Fanatics website said that theirs leaked when it didn't add more Teflon tape. So let me go and do that, and I'll turn you back on. All right, so I got a Teflon tape now. I'm gonna go find the bolt size for the old unit that's up there, and we will continue. We went and got a 24mm socket, and it's coming off. It is indeed a 24mm socket. When you do that, you should just be able to spin it off now. And at every angle, my hand is in the way. All right, there we go. Let's see, reach up in here, grab it. That definitely had some more oil behind it. Finding all different kinds of oil in here today. Yay. It's gonna be one mess to clean up. Hopefully some of this cardboard soaks that up. We'll let that drain for a little bit. I'll turn you back on. Inspect the old one. Look at all that crud that's on it. No kidding why this thing was leaking so much. I mean, it held out for several years, I'll give it that. And slightly different in the new part than the old one. Definitely more thread here on the new one than the old one, or the bolt size is a little bigger on the new one than the old one, but that's okay. Well, now that that's off, I'm gonna go ahead and install the new one. Stay tuned. All right, so I got everything tight and ready to go back in. I'm now just kind of wiping down a lot of the areas. I didn't want to get the sensor too tight, but now all we have to do is just reconnect the clip, and that job is done. All right, so now we're going to fill up the oil filter, and then we're going to put that back on the car, and then we'll go to the top and fill up the whole oil. I'm going to try not to spill any of this. I'm going to go grab another pan. Pre-gaming the oil filter. I just spilled some. Shake that up, get the air bubbles out, and we'll wipe the surface with some of the oil so that it's easier to get off next time. It was actually really easy. I was actually able to remove it by hand without actually using a clamp. So you don't want to put these oil filters on really tight. You just want to have them snug. And that's what anything dealing with this stuff, just snug. You don't have to be Hercules with car stuff. Unless you're trying to get off these bolts, then you have to be Hercules. Anyway, let me get this installed and we'll move on to the next thing. Stay tuned. All right, so for the moment of truth and the moment we've all been waiting for, now we can actually go and change the oil. So on the driver's side of the engine in the back, there's this little oil cap here. I'm gonna go and give that a twist and a pull. And you wanna set that off to the side. We'll set it right there. Then you wanna grab yourself something to pour the oil into. So make sure anything that you're using is free of dirt. You don't want to introduce dirt into your system. The Focus takes about 4.5 quarts of oil, and you can work up to 4, see where it is, and then we'll go from there. So first you got to drop the car, because if you try to do it with the car jacked up like this, you're going to get a bad reading. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the car, and then we'll fill the oil. Stay tuned. All right, YouTube, so I checked, sorry I didn't catch that on camera, but I have the oil poured, and I checked it to make sure that I had it to the max. So it's on the second dot. If you watch the video where I explain this, you know what I'm talking about. But I got it to the second dot, and now I'm going to go ahead and remove this filter. I mean, not filter, but funnel. Place it over here somewhere out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and reinstall my filter cap. Get it on there, bam. And that's it. That's an oil change. We're gonna go down here. Let's get down up under the car to see if I have any leaks thus far. That doesn't look like it. I don't think I have any leaks, but I gotta start the car and drive it around a little bit, let the oil cycle through the engine, and we'll see. Fingers crossed. Stay tuned. I'm inside the car. I'm looking for any oil pressure lights. I don't see any. That's great. I'm gonna go outside the car and look for any type of leaks at the bottom. And I don't see any leaks. Oh, I got leaks. Got leaks right there. Oh shit.